Hey gang, Tony here. I am all kinds of messed up right now. I get up early for the flea market. I don't go to sleep particularly early, so I get very little sleep. And then I just found out that I'm going to be going into Philly with me and my brother bring my dad into Philly for like a hospital thing. And we have to be there at 7, so we're getting up. We have to leave at 4. We're gonna get up at 3 a.m. I think. So like I kind of like fell asleep a little bit because I was tired. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to get up early tomorrow, and I do not nap well. I woke up all dizzy, and I'm like, and now it's worse. Everything's worse. but don't worry about everything's fine with my dad. By the way, just nothing to worry about in case anyone was gonna get all worried. But okay, I have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of stuff here. It was a pretty good day. I tweeted out, oh, I hope, if you follow me on Twitter, I said like, oh, I hope I find some Halloween stuff. I did find some Halloween stuff. I'm gonna start you off with the last stuff I got, which is probably also the least exciting. So we'll get this out of the way. This was $1. We got, actually this stuff doesn't go with that, but I'll put that here. This is a Goosebumps book. Newer? I think it's in the 2000s this came out maybe. The 12 Screams of Christmas, R.L. Stine, Goosebumps Most Wanted, Special Edition. So, yeah, I don't know. I see Goosebumps, I buy it. It's kind of like the thing these days. I got 2 more sealed tapes, which I've been buying because, believe it or not, I actually finally figured out how to record my VHS mixtape, which up until now was not actually on a VHS. It was just digital that I gave away to my Patreon members. I got it to work, you guys. Look at that, Candy Corn Apocalypse's Halloween treat bag. Yeah. So I'm going to tape a bunch. Not quite sure yet how I'm going to package that up or what I'm going to do with it. It's probably going to be Patreon exclusive, but I did also get a bunch of, this is all from this yard sale. There are a bunch of clear cases. Unfortunately, these do not, there's one more there. Unfortunately, these do not have the sleeve, and I did create art for my tape. So I kind of wanted to get like a clamshell that I could put the art into like the sleeve section and put the tape in. So I may just trade, sell, or otherwise use these things. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them for my tapes, but got a nice stack of those. And yeah, that was all from this last minute yard sale, and that was all that stuff. That was from this last minute yard sale that, like, we're on the way home and a sign had popped up since we had left. So the sign was not there. It's right down my brother's road. And then it was there when we came home. I was like, ooh, and it's only today, and it's only till 3 o'clock. And usually, like, that's a good sign, because number one, like, we may be one of the first people there, and like you might find some hidden gems, and it's very exciting. Of course, the sale wasn't great. There was a lot of stuff. But there's nothing I was really interested in except for what I got. They had other VHS tapes. The only good one had mold on it, which tends to be my luck. Since I'm on VHS, I'll show you the rest of the VHS stuff that I got at the flea market. So the one was this. I didn't buy it for this tape. It's a bootleg of Star Wars The Dark Redemption, which it says right here is an underground Star Wars sequel. It's like a fan-made sequel thing. But this isn't even like an official tape. It's just a bootleg that someone made. And maybe you can figure out why I bought this. Because I'm probably going to tape over the tape, take this art out of this sleeve here. See, that's the sleeve like I was talking I wanted, and put my art in there so I could put one of my Candy Corn Apocalypse mixtapes in this. My plan had been to buy a bunch of like Disney tapes, the big white ones, the clamshells, and use those for mine, but I kind of didn't want to spend the extra money today. But this one is a nice, like a black regular case, which is what I would prefer to put them in, so I went for that. And then I got 2 recorded tapes because I wanted to see if there'd be anything cool, like commercials and stuff on them. Unfortunately, so this one is Aliens and Alien 3. I didn't notice this when I bought it. I just saw that and I grabbed it. It's kind of cool. They have like the old TV guide clipping on this thing to show what it is, but I noticed then when I got home that it's HBO. So I popped it in. I kind of fast forward a little bit. It doesn't look like there's really many commercials. I'm pretty sure this person like clipped all that stuff out for like their home movie tapes. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. Maybe I'll look a little bit more carefully. And the other one is Playboy. It's the Playboy channel. A couple of like celebrity centerfold things. 2 hours of Playboy. And then there was, there's no commercials though. I thought there would maybe be some commercials. And then there was a Howard Stern dance party. And after that there was a movie. Again, no commercials through any of this stuff, unfortunately. And I don't know what the movie was, but it looked older. I think the woman who played Winnie Cooper from Wonder Years, and I want to say like Silver Spoons or one of those blonde-haired kids. He looked very familiar. So anyway, that's all the VHS crap that I bought. Unfortunately, nothing really worth noting. I'm sort of going backwards from the. I'll give you some okay stuff now. So, got a Charlie Brown, little Charlie Brown McDonald's pumpkin. This was $1, so everything in there plus the bucket was $1. Those VHS tapes were $1 each, which I probably shouldn't have friggin' paid for, but what are you gonna do? Whoops. So yeah, that. I'm a sucker for Peanuts. I'm not much of a collector of the. Oh, that popped out. Of the Halloween. I mean, I have a couple of the McDonald's Halloween buckets because when you collect Halloween stuff, you see them a lot. But I like even today I saw the official like the first run of McDonald's Halloween buckets where they were all pumpkins, and they only wanted $2 a piece, and it was late in the day, and I didn't want to spend that much more money because I had already spent a bit, so I didn't buy them. But like I don't have those, and that would have been a cheap way to get them. It just goes to show how interested I am in that stuff. This was much later on. I think in the 90s these came out, maybe even 2000s. I don't remember. Oh, 2016. Wow, this is a lot newer than I remembered in my head. Which of course I don't care. I just wanted it because it's Charlie Brown. So he wanted 50 cents for that, and then I was like, well, what if I throw all this stuff in there, you take $1? And he's like, yeah. So we got some blank Halloween cards with the envelopes that I'll probably use for my Patreon. And we got some just new trick-or-treat bags, like from the dollar store or whatever, that I'll probably use for, you know, orders and things. And then a little Ziploc with a cookie cutter of a ghost, a cookie cutter of a bat, a couple of skeleton hands that may or may not go to something. I really can't tell. There's like a couple pegs on that one that make it look as if you might put something on it. And then just like the rest of this is actually just like sort of garbage. It's like just like fuzz, and there's a spider thing in there. So that was that. That was like one of the last things I bought at the flea market, if I remember correctly. Boop. The most of the good stuff is coming up, so I'll save the biggest thing for last, like usual. But basically, everything else I'm about to pick out of here. Oh no, I lied. I I saw this, and there's a guy at the flea market who has just like boxes everywhere, and everyone like digs through the boxes and looks for stuff, and everyone's elbowing each other out of the way. And I saw this, and I got so excited because that guy usually sells stuff super cheap. But I opened it, and there was no game, there was no manual, there's nothing. But I do know that, you know, some of the better games you can still sell the case. Like I could probably sell the case for $15 or something, or trade it. So I said I'd give him 50 cents for it, and I did. I gave him 50 cents for it. So just to sell. That reminds me, actually, that it was that box guy that I got. He had a ton of records out today, and I was sort of looking through them, trying to find some Halloween stuff. I didn't see any, but I did find a George Clinton record that caught my eye. I thought it looked pretty cool. Atomic Dog, woof woof. So that was $1. It's ripped a little bit on the bottom, so you can see the record coming through a bit. It had. I wish I knew more about vinyl. I'm not that big a collector. I tend to just get the stuff that's like horror or Halloween and things like that. They had a lot of stuff that looked like it could have been sort of limited or exclusive or rarities, but I just didn't have the time to like really. I didn't want to waste. I don't like to just buy stuff like hoping that it's going to be worth money if I don't want it myself. I'll take chances on stuff that I want, and if it's worth something, great. But since I'm not like a seller, I don't really have the time to be selling stuff. I didn't want to just like randomly buy a bunch of crap. Okay, all right. Get into some Halloween stuff here, baby. Oh yeah. I spent $11 on everything I'm going to show you next. They basically gave me a deal. There's a box of stuff, and I was picking through it, and they're like, we'll give you a deal on the box. So they gave me $5 for the box, and then a couple of the other things were a bit more money. This was like a throw-in item for $1 that I just figured I'd take. It's a round Halloween tablecloth from Walmart. It was marked as $2, and I was buying all the stuff. They're like, oh, take that for another $1. I'm like, okay. I'm not really sure what I'll do with a round. I don't need it for anything. I have a couple of Halloween tablecloths around, I think. Oh, actually, this is from another seller, so I'll save this on the side to show you. Alright, so all this is the box of stuff. Got a nice bloody hand, or, you know, forearm and hand. Pretty realistic looking. Look at that hand. You might think that was my hand right there. Everyone needs a couple of these. I have a foot somewhere. Everyone needs a couple of these in their Halloween goodie bag. So we got that guy. I actually didn't get a chance to test this yet, but it's this is a newer thing, I think. It's like one of those hangy streamer things, but it does have a place for batteries. Maybe I'll try to, what was the price they had on that? $4, jeez. Maybe I'll try to test that before the video's over, but it looks like it probably shakes and makes sounds. So that was probably one of my least favorite things in the box, but, you know, when you get a box of stuff for $5, you take everything in the box. We got... Oh, a nice... Actually, I didn't plug this in yet either, but it's missing a bulb I could see there. I'll have to find one of these. I don't know if these are going to be... I guess they're going to be probably purple. But I'll put these outside with some of my blow molds and stuff. Nice, like, Christmas light style string of lights. Which, again, I wasn't, like, probably wouldn't have purchased by itself. But since it was they had that marked at $2 on its own. Not too shabby. And then we got a giant spider of a pretty cool style. I like the style with the little nubs all over it. Yeah, come and get it. I'm not sure about markings on this guy. He's got his little bands. I have a couple like this. I don't think I have any quite this big though. And then that one was also marked for $2. They had a lot of $2 things in the box. And then these are the things that caught my eye. This is what I was really looking at. There is a mummy guy on these batons, and there was this bat guy. And I had never seen these before. I know they're not super old. They got to be at the oldest 90s, but maybe even 2000s. They look like they could be 2000s. I didn't look too carefully for any kind of markings, but they claimed that they worked, and would you know it, they actually do. Cover your ears. I'll step back a little bit because it gets loud. I hope it still works. I put some batteries in. Pretty awesome. This doesn't have batteries in it, but I kind of put the batteries in both, and they both worked, and I was happy about that, because, as you know, when the flea market people tell you something works, it doesn't always work. I think I had half-dead batteries, because it took a few tries to get them going, but they seems to be working now. Yeah, so I didn't bother looking these up, actually. I don't know how I would look them up, because I don't know the name of them. So, sound off in the comments if you know what the hell these things are, when they were made, if they're worth anything. I'm just keeping them. I'm not going to sell them, but that was everything in that box, I believe. And then we have one more thing that I did get from the same people, but it was like a separate purchase, and you'll see why in just a second. And of course I had to buy this. I didn't test this either, actually, now that I think about it. Oh, what? Screaming door plaque, real witch's cackle, stairs. What does that say? Starts as you approach. Flashing eyes, 2 AA batteries not included. It's a Telco item. The packaging. Oh, that packaging. More than the friggin' item itself. That orange with the little Halloween drawings and stuff on it. The ghost that looks like he's kind of stoned. Look how stoned that ghost is. He just smoked a giant spliff. I'm telling you. And then the witch went off and was like... That's totally what's going on there, I'm telling you. I can pop some batteries in that too and test it. I'm not going to do that, on camera because it's going to take me forever. But I'm super happy about that. You might have noticed that it was priced at $8, and I offered $5, and they took it for $5. So that was a decent score, I think. They go for if you count how much if you count shipping, if you were trying to buy this on eBay, and you probably not going to get it for much less than $30, $35 counting shipping. Technically, they only sell for 15 to 20 plus shipping, but I always count shipping when I'm thinking about the value of something, because that's how much it would cost me to buy. I almost forgot this little guy, which is another just cool, interesting, never saw it before. It has a little thing for the batteries in there. The guy only wanted $1, so of course I had to get it, and it's just a nice, cool, blinky light in there. Did it ever go to anything else? It looks like it should have, but the way the batteries are situated, maybe not. There might be more to this guy than meets the eye. Don't know. Don't really care. I like it as is. Put it on a counter or something. All good. Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. One more item left. the arguably best, but also there's an issue. Of course, there's an issue. So, I found a Telco motion. Well, I don't know if it's Telco or not, but I found a motion at one of those witches' cauldron, stirring the cauldron action ones. The guy, the battery compartment is opening. There we go. The guy said he wanted $3. I asked if it worked. He said he honestly doesn't know if it works or not. And I was like, well, I'll give you $2. And he's like, oh, it's early in the flea market. Why don't you come back later? And if it's still here, I'll give it to you for $2. And I was like, okay. So I start walking away, and like almost immediately, someone else picked it up and is looking at it. And I turn around and see that, and I'm like, but they put it back down and walked away. And I was like, do I really want to take the chance for $1? So I just went over and I gave him his $3. But of course it doesn't work completely. The lights and the sound, as usual with these motherfuckers, will work. There's another setting for no sound, which honestly the sounds on these things after a while get grating. And I don't think this is one that, like, these motionettes don't usually have like a motion sensor, so they just go and keep going. But as you can see, of course, and I don't even hear a motor trying to work in there. It feels as though the motor, there's like something in here that would just turn, so it's not the arms. So it should be maybe easy to fix this one. I'd have to take the base off and go kind of figure out what's happening in there. Maybe it's a wire came loose, which happens a lot. But, you know, it's one of those deals where I kind of know what's going to happen. It happens more with the battery operated motionettes, the little ones, 80% of the time. Either the sound doesn't work or the motion action doesn't work. Like the stupid plastic gears get all seized up or wires come loose or whatever. I have so many of those little ones that are in different states of disrepair. And I buy them. I keep buying them. Why? Because usually I get them for $1, $2, or $3. And honestly, for $3, even if it doesn't work, for me, still kind of worth it. Plus, I have a little project to work on. The big ones that you plug in, those almost never are broken, in my experience. Those tend to always be. I have like one that has an issue, maybe two, minor issue. Anyway, that is most of the stuff. Today was a weird day, man. It was like there was a lot of Halloween stuff there, but a lot of it was just overpriced. And I saw there were a lot of like resellers, like real like vulture-ish resellers at the market today. There's this one dude who like bought a bunch of blow molds and stuff and Halloween stuff from this one booth and was piling a giant pile of stuff. And I know for a fact, I saw that same stuff last time I was there. I know for a fact it was kind of overpriced. But of course it depends on what you consider overpriced. For me, charging $30 to $40 for a blow mold of like a fairly like basic variety, like the kinds that you not like one of these witches that are harder to get, but like one of the regular pumpkin head on a cat kind of things, $30, $40. I'm like, yeah, I used to pull those for $1, $2, so I'm not gonna pay that. If this guy was pulling them from the flea market at $30, $40 a pop, he's going to go and turn that shit around on eBay for like probably $80. And that's the problem right now. That's what's going on, is that people are raising those prices up even at a flea market, and then the eBay resellers are still buying it at that, and then they're going to pop it up even more, and then people still pay for it though. And that's why, you know, if we stop paying for stuff at stupid prices, they won't be able to sell them for stupid prices. Get the little $1 item and the little $3 item. I know that's not always possible, and I'm just talking out my ass right now, but I told you. I didn't get much sleep. Alright, that's going to do it for me. I got to figure out what to do with all this Halloween goodness. Going to put some of it out, decorate with some of it, maybe trade or sell or give away some of it. We'll see what happens. Alright, everybody. Have a great Sunday. I'll see you next time. Breathe deeper tonight. Bye.